Hello, this is Alan welcoming you to the 1889th edition of the Enfield Talking Newspaper. Dateline 24th January 2013. The readers this week are Jenny, Phil, Sonia and myself with Keith on the controls. The items that we will be reading come from our local newspapers, the Enfield Gazette, the Enfield Advertiser and the Enfield Independent, and are their copyright. Local stories include Hurrah for Snow, Frozen Friends Saved, Mum leapt in front of car to save son's life, and Police fail to stop a campaign of terror. First of all, though, there's a little special news item from Enfield Council regarding their meetings, and especially their area forums, which I know some of you like to attend. I'll just read these out quickly. The area forums for Bowes, Palmer's Green and Southgate Green area will happen on Tuesday the 29th of January at 7:30 p.m. in the function room at the Fox Public House, 413 Green Lanes, Palmer's Green. The Bush Hill Park, Grange and Winchmore Hill Area Forum will happen on Thursday the 28th of March at 7:30 and the venue is to be confirmed. Cockfosters, Southgate and Highlands Area Forum will happen on Wednesday the 20th of March at 7:30 p.m. Again, the venue to be confirmed. And Chase, Southbury and Town Area Forum will happen on Wednesday the 6th of March at 7:30 p.m. And where will that be? You've guessed it. Venue to be confirmed. Edmonton Green, Hazelbury and Upper Edmonton Area Forum will happen on Thursday the 24th of January, which is a bit late to tell you, so I apologise for that because that's the day that we're actually recording this. So, if you're experiencing any problems receiving your Enfield Talking newspaper, please phone Diane de Jersey on 020-8805-6578. She is your listener's representative and will be pleased to help you. At the end of side 2, please remember to turn over the address label in your postal packet. Put the cassette into the packet and return it to us as soon as possible, in readiness for the next edition. And now, Sonia will read the first item of local news.
With the news that more than 75% of the borough's schools were forced to close due to snow and ice on Monday, people are ready to slam head teachers for not insisting staff and pupils ski over hill and dale into school. Of course, snow days create childcare headaches and difficulties when parents have to take last-minute time off work. But who can really begrudge children a day of sheer fun involving sledges and snowballs? We moan enough about our children being glued to the sofa, more interested in staring at a screen than indulging in a daydream out the window, or even, heaven forbid, going outside. So, when our soft, indoor-reared children rush headlong into the outdoors, cheeks flushed with the sheer thrill of something so different to the normal routine, who are we to begrudge them a snow day? Who wouldn't secretly love to be in their slightly damp shoes?
A man who risked his life to save his dog was rescued after he fell into a frozen lake. He followed his pet after it fell through the fragile ice covering the boating lake at Alexandra Palace at 8:30 p.m. on Sunday. However, the ice also gave way under his feet, and he found himself engulfed in the treacherous waters in sub-zero temperatures. Horrified onlookers called the fire brigade. More than 25 firefighters from Edmonton, Euston and Hornsey fire stations arrived at the scene. They jumped into dinghies and pulled the man from the icy water before bringing him to safety by the lakeside and covering him in sheets to warm his soaking body. However, the man refused to leave his dog until it was rescued by the firefighters. The treasured pet, believed to be a Bordeaux Mastiff, had made its way out of the water onto an island in the centre of the lake. firefighters spent an hour searching the island until they found the dog, which was then reunited with its owner.
A mother who threw herself in front of an oncoming car to save the life of her 4-year-old son has been hailed a hero by her family and friends. Nadine Scutela of Rochester Close, Enfield, was walking home along Eastbury Avenue from a children's party with her son Joshua around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday when she saw a car veer out of control and mount the pavement just metres from where she was walking. Within a split second of seeing the driver lose control, the 33-year-old realised the car was speeding straight towards her young son. Right away she picked Joshua up, moving him away from the car that was heading straight towards him, said Nadine's partner, Robert Armstrong, 34. She shielded Josh completely with her body and took the full force of the impact herself. The car slammed into the back of the nursery nurse, leaving her motionless on the pavement. She was taken to the Royal London Hospital in Whitechapel, East London, where doctors discovered her pelvis had been badly smashed when she threw herself in the car's path. The brave mum underwent surgery yesterday to have 2 metal plates put in her pelvis to repair the damage from the collision. But despite Nadine's injuries, Robert told the Advertiser how proud he was of his partner's quick thinking. "It could have been so much worse," the shop owner said. "Joshua is completely unscathed thanks to her fast reactions. It's a miracle, really." No arrests have been made in connection with the incident. Police are continuing to appeal for information about the collision, and anyone who can help should call 020 7230 3908.
A gardener has criticised police for failing to stop arsonists inflicting a campaign of terror against people living on an estate. Michael Glover, who lives near Burncroft Avenue in Enfield Highway, believes police should have done more to prevent the lighting of multiple fires that destroyed 4 sheds and 8 allotment plots behind his house over Christmas. The 65-year-old said, "The police aren't doing anything. I'm afraid now that if the arsonists think the police have just gone away, they might come back again. The police need to be shown up and told they can't keep ignoring us. It's like going into a bottomless pit." The King gardener, whose 2 plots were not damaged in the arson attacks, said fires were started on December 22nd and December 27th, and vandals returned almost daily until January the 8th to try and start more. Mr. Glover emailed Enfield Highway and Enfield Lock Safer Neighbourhood teams about the devastating blazes, but claimed they did not take notice of the gardener's plight until January the 9th. Mr. Glover has now taken it upon himself to police the area. He said he stormed the allotment on the night of January the 8th after being woken up by banging. Mr. Glover believes his actions stopped potential arsonists in their tracks and prevented the 22 other plots from falling victim to another blaze. However, he is concerned for his safety after he was left with head injuries when he was attacked with a brick on the estate in March. Enfield North MP Nick Dubois visited Mr. Glover at the allotments last week and is putting pressure on police and Enfield Borough Council to take action. He said, "It is disappointing crimes at this level are still not getting the attention they need. The frustration of residents is increased when these crimes are reported over a 3-week period without action being taken. We have to deal with crime at this level before individuals go on to commit even more serious offences." Enfield Police confirmed officers were investigating 3 incidents relating to the fires of sheds at the allotment, thought to have taken place between December 27 and January the 7th. A statement added, patrols by both Enfield Highway Safer Neighbourhood Team and the Safer Parks Unit have been increased. Enfield Council is also aware. Officers from Enfield CID are investigating. At this time, no arrests have been made. Anyone with information can call police on 101 or, alternatively, to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. And before I pass you over to Sonia, I've just got a stop press update on one of those Enfield Council meetings. I've just noticed that the Edmonton Green, Hazelbury and Upper Edmonton Area Forum will also take place on Wednesday the 13th of March at 7:30 p.m. and that will be at Community House in 4 Street, Edmonton. Sonia.
A teenager from Enfield has won a national engineering competition after designing a new type of light bulb. Joseph Krukowski, an A-level student at St. Ignatius College in Turkey Street, Enfield, has been invited to the Houses of Parliament after being named joint winner of the We Made It competition. As part of the contest, young people were asked to design products that would not only be commercially viable and practical to make, but also did some social good. The competition, which is run by members of UK industry, is aimed at encouraging young people into a career in manufacturing. The Year 12 pupils' prize-winning design was for a study lamp, which reduces damage to a reader's eyesight. The design, which was part of a GCSE project, avoids the glare that can come from lamps that light the desk from above. Instead, Joseph's lamp shines across the page, reducing the damage to eyesight and allowing people to read for longer. It was praised by a panel of expert judges, and he saw off more than 360 rivals to become one of 2 national winners. Joseph, 17, who is studying AS levels in maths, physics, chemistry and product design, is really excited about going to Parliament for the awards ceremony and seeing his design turned into reality. He said, "My mum was reading through a local paper when she saw the advert and said I should apply. Now I would love to get the lamp sold in shops." As part of his prize, Joseph was invited to the Fab Lab, a design and engineering workshop in Manchester, where he was able to experiment with equipment and materials. He added, "The lamp is a really simple idea, and the people in the Fab Lab couldn't remember seeing a product like it. I am aiming to go to university, and I'm split between engineering and design, but this competition has made me veer towards design." The 2 winners will receive prototypes of their designs as part of their prize. The designs will be displayed at the awards ceremony at the Houses of Parliament on Thursday of next week.
Singers who took a music competition by storm say they are excited at the new opportunities coming their way. Soul trio Eleanor, which includes Enfield Town vocalist Sophie Theodoulou, performed in front of 3,000 people at the O2 Arena on Sunday during the finals of the Open Mic UK Music Competition. Miss Theodoulou joined members Faye Grant and Penny Phillips to sing Don't Let Go by En Vogue and Run Away by Bruno Mars with their own twist. Although they missed out on top spot, they came 3rd in their category and were the last girl band left standing in the competition, which had 10,000 entrants. They did not leave empty-handed, winning £500 of studio time thanks to the amount of media coverage they accrued during the competition. Miss Theodoulou, who works in Emma Clare Hair and Beauty Spa in Enfield Town's Church Street, said the exposure sparked by the competition was creating a buzz around the band and they were excited about their future. She said, "The competition has really pushed us. We got through all the rounds. It was really given us the confidence to move forward. The support and the fan base have gone up. The girls, who have been together for a year and a half, are currently in talks to perform at festivals around the UK this summer, including Glastonbury. A trip to America may even be on the cards. Miss Theodoulou said the girls would learn from the amazing experience and continue to work as hard as they could to make it in the music industry.
The head of a new primary school runs schools better than the council, said Education Secretary Michael Gove during a visit to Edmonton last week. Mr. Gove, who introduced legislation in 2010 allowing groups and individuals to set up schools outside council control, officially opened the multi-million-pound building that houses Woodpecker Hall Free Primary Academy in Nightingale Road on Thursday morning. It is considered a flagship free school by the government, and both Mr. Gove and Prime Minister David Cameron have lavished praise on executive head teacher Patricia Sauter, notably for her work in raising literacy levels among her students. Mrs. Sauter runs 3 academies under the Cuckoo Hall Academy Trust banner: Woodpecker Hall, Cuckoo Hall and Kingfisher Hall primaries, and another, Heron Hall Academy, is soon to open for secondary school pupils. Although Woodpecker Hall opened in September 2011, the pupils were sharing the classrooms of sister school Cuckoo Hall Primary Academy, which is next door to the new state-of-the-art building. Mr. Gove used the official opening to once again heap praise on the achievements of Mrs. Sauter, who champions raising literacy levels among primary pupils with an intense focus on phonics learning. Patricia has a luminous intelligence, which means every problem can be solved, Mr. Gove told an audience including councillors, board members and trustees. When asked why it was a better use of money to spend millions setting up a new school outside of local authority control rather than investing in existing council-controlled schools, Mr. Gove told the Advertiser, because Patricia Sauter runs better schools than Enfield Council. However, Council leader Doug Taylor, who was present at last week's opening, dismissed the implied criticism of local authority-run education. I don't think the Secretary of State in Westminster is ideally placed to judge the quality of schools in Enfield, said Mr. Taylor. There is a real danger in allowing the Secretary of State to control and direct delivery of education in all the councils throughout the country. Woodpecker Hall currently caters for 180 pupils with 2 nursery classes, 2 reception classes and 2 Year 1 classes with 30 pupils in each class.
Arch-Eurosceptic Nick Dubois has urged the Prime Minister to get tough on Europe. The MP for Enfield North has repeatedly defied his party leaders on the issue and has maintained that Britain's future within Europe should be decided by a public referendum on whether the country should stay in or get out of the European Union for good. And on the eve of David Cameron's much-anticipated speech on Britain's future within Europe, Mr. Dubois called on the Prime Minister to be tough with the EU. Speaking to the Advertiser the night before Mr. Cameron delivered what some commentators have suggested would be a career-defining moment for the Prime Minister, Mr. Dubois said, "I would like to see a firm commitment on an in-out referendum from the Prime Minister. I think the Prime Minister has done absolutely the right thing in calling for a renegotiation of our relationship with the European Union. Our relationship with Europe has to be less about interference and more about trade." But the MP stressed, whatever the renegotiation is, it must be put to the British public to have an in or out choice.
Despite freezing temperatures, ice and snow, a band of people determined to support local business descended on a fitness class with a twist on Monday night. Karen Mercer and her crack team of shock cash mobbers visited the Duckdale Centre in London Road, Enfield, to take place in a pop-up event organised by Enfield's Fit. Miss Mercer's mobs boosted daytime trade in high streets across the borough at the end of last year when, armed with tenors, a group of determined shoppers launched weekly raids on unsuspecting independent shopkeepers. Now, the Shop Local campaigner has shifted the focus of her efforts towards health and fitness enterprises. She rounded up her gang and issued them with strict instructions to arrive at the Dugdale dressed in their finest workout gear. "This is amazing," said Miss Mercer of the turnout of 12 cash mobbers. "It is supposedly Blue Monday when everyone is depressed." Cathy Underwood, who was there to support fellow teacher and Enfield's fit partner Kevin Matthew, was emphatic that supporting local fitness events was as important for the economy as shopping locally. "The benefits of health are manifold," she said. "Being healthy and exercising makes us more vibrant and more positive. Having a healthy population is better for the economy. We think in terms of healthy body, healthy mind, healthy business." Kevin, who led the cash mobbers through their body combat paces, agreed. "Imagine if 100 people came through the door of the Dugdale Centre for a fitness class for 3 nights every week. That would be 1,200 people in the space of a month," he said. "And it's not just supporting local fitness classes. People can go downstairs, have a cup of coffee, and spend money and time in the centre." Miss Mercer is keeping up the fitness theme this Saturday at a class with the UK Academy of Swimming at Queen Elizabeth Boys' School in Queen's Road, Barnet, at 2:30 p.m. All money splashed out at this session will be donated by the Academy, which specialises in dealing with aquaphobia and helping reluctant swimmers, to the Noah's Ark Children's Hospice in Victor's Way, Barnet.
Labour activists will focus on ousting Conservative MP Nick Dubois from his Enfield North seat at the next general election after the constituency was named in the party's top 3 London battleground seats. After Hendon and Brent Central, Enfield North is the biggest priority seat for Labour in London. The constituency has been placed 23rd in the list of 106 seats to be targeted nationally, which Labour hopes will secure the party a 60-seat majority in the next election. Of these, 88 are seats Labour lost to the Tories and Liberal Democrats in 2010. Sadiq Khan, who was appointed as Labour's Shadow Minister for London by leader Ed Miliband last week, said Enfield North is one of a dozen parliamentary seats across London identified by Labour as key battlegrounds where we will focus our efforts to win a working majority at the next general election. At the same time as making Enfield residents pay more by the introduction of a Strivers tax, David Cameron's government is shamelessly cutting taxes for millionaires by an average of £107,000 a year each. The Tories have broken their promises on Chase Farm Hospital, cut police numbers, and are now even threatening to close local police stations, risking rising crime and less safe streets. Mr Dubois was elected MP for Enfield North in 2010 when he defeated Labour's Joan Ryan, who had held the seat from 1997. Mr Dubois won a 1,692 majority, and Labour will require a swing from the Conservatives of just under 2%. The MP said, Enfield North has always been a tightly contested seat, and I'm sure it will be again in 2015. But we don't expect to have an election for over 2 years, and my efforts will remain focused on working hard for the people in the constituency and being a strong voice for Enfield in Westminster.
The MP for Edmonton has attacked the government for its decision to scrap a home energy savings scheme helping families during the winter. The Warm Front scheme was set up in 2000 to help people on lower incomes improve the energy efficiency of their homes, help keep them warm and save money. The government has announced the scheme, which has been used by more than 1,100 homes in Edmonton, will be scrapped later this year. Mr MP Andy Love, who has supported the scheme, said, "You don't have to be an Eskimo to realise it's been very cold recently, and it's important that residents can continue to benefit from warm front to improve the energy efficiency of their homes. There is still money in the warm front pot, and it makes absolutely no sense to throw it away at a time when fuel bills are increasing, temperatures are falling, and safeguards like the winter fuel payments are being cut. This is yet another pressure on the worst off at a time when high earners are enjoying a £3 billion tax cut. According to the MP, £50 million remains in the warm front budget, which could be taken by the Treasury when the scheme closes."
Young footballers are being given the chance to join a prestigious football academy at the first trials of the year. The College of Haringey, Enfield and North East London's Hayes Football Academy will be holding the trials at Boreham Wood Football Club in Boreham Wood next month. The Academy and the Football Club have been working together for a number of years, operating an educational programme for teenagers between the ages of 16 and 18. Those who are lucky enough to get into the Academy will train 3 days a week and study for a vocational qualification at the college. The Academy has produced a number of promising players since it opened in 2009. Those interested in taking part in the trial can sign up by going to the College of Haringey, Enfield and North East London's website and searching for the Football Academy. We have now reached the end of side 1 of this tape. Please stop your machine now, take out the cassette, turn it over, and start side 2.